number 7 here at World Championship 29. I'm going to pass it on over to Ailey and Corey with the call.
Thank you so much, Maria and Marty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final round of coverage for today. Ailey learning alongside Corey Baumeister, and we are going to be cutting some people out of the tournament, Corey.
Yeah, this is really rough. You know, this round where we have to send people home, it's really brutal to be 3-3 and have to win that last one and then not get there. But hey, that's the World Championship. It's you know, the hardest tournament in the world.
It's the way the tough cookie crumbles, I guess.
There you go.
Yuta Takahashi, former world champion, up against Willy Edel, Hall of Famer. These two are going to leave it all out on the battlefield for us here today. So let's jump into this matchup, and we're seeing two pretty well-represented decks here this weekend.
Yeah.
Main ramp, Esper mid-range. How do you see this game going out?
Yeah, you know, I think this one's very interesting because these domain decks can really outgrind some of these counter spells, but if Yuta's able to stick an early fairy mastermind and then back it up with counter spells, that's going to heavily advantage him, and I agree. I want to see Yuta cast Yuta's card. I mean, how awesome is that?
Yuta costs Yuta.
There you go.
But kicking things off here on Willy Edel's side of things with the courier briefcase and the citizen that comes along with it.
But no land. Oh, drew the forest off the top. That was a huge draw for Willy.
Nice indeed. Topiary Stomper is going to go and find land number 4. Does have that Archangel of Wrath, which can be problematic for the smaller creatures that we will see from Yuta's side of things.
Yep, absolutely. And then from Yuta's side, a little bit of a slow hand here. You have the virtues, you have some 4-drops, but definitely going for a much grindier game here.
Sure. Exactly right. As get the deck shuffled, find the land there, number 4 for Willy, as we're going to see the virtue of loyalty creating the 2/2 Knight at instant speed, which is so cool. That's one of my favorite cards from this set.
Yeah, it's a really good one. All the virtues are extremely powerful. Well, at least most of them.
Most of them, yeah. There's 3 of them are decent.
Exactly.
The black and the white ones, though,
definitely the best. Being able to have another instant speed threat to be able to either cast Make Disappear on your opponent's thing or make a creature really adds a nice element to this Esper deck from Yuta.
So 4 lands on the board here for Willy. On the other side of things, we've got that 2/2 Knight down on the board for Yuta Takahashi. In hand, Urtai Resurrected, we see a couple of lands for the former world champion, Wandering Emperor and Shieldred the Apocalypse, 2 incredible 4-drops.
Yep.
For this Esper deck.
And it's nice, you know, Shieldred is probably not going to be the first thing we see Yuta deploy, just because, well, it's a sorcery speed effect. If he didn't have any of these instant speed effects, we might see it, but we're going to see that option of either Wandering Emperor or Urtai, depending on what Willy plays. And Willy just drawing lands like he definitely needed to do.
Yeah.
Herd Migration's helping out with that cause a lot, too.
Yeah, green decks have been pretty powerful in you know, several formats over the last few years. Green just getting so many ways to go over the top of everyone else.
Yeah.
But these Esper decks certainly keeping them in their place. As we see now another Knight, courtesy of the Virtue of Loyalty.
Yep, and still with the 5 lands, so the Topiary Stomper cannot do any blocking yet, so a pretty free attack for Yuta to start this turn off.
And you talk about games that go long and grindy. Well, if you can get a Virtue of Loyalty down with a full board, you're going to be running away with the game pretty darn soon.
Yeah, even 2 or 3 creatures really ends up, you know, creating a lot of power. 3 power for free at the end of every turn is excellent.
It is. Vigilant creatures being able to do attacking and blocking duty for Yuta.
Yeah, and it does look like Yuta has Restless Fortress as well, one of the new creature lands in a bit of an altered art there as well. So can cast the double white spell as well as animate it next turn, and it, you know, attacks for 3 essentially. So keep that in mind. It could become relevant a little bit later.
Yeah. This land is so sweet. You know, even if you just swing it into a blocker that's going to kill it, like the 2 life is relevant. And as we're going to see Shieldred the Apocalypse hit the board.
Wow.
The big bad standard.
Really interesting to see that. I really thought we were going to see the instant speed ways to interact here. But, you know, 7 is that magic number, so Yuta just figured, if I don't play Shieldred now, I won't be able to cast it next turn because you can't let Willy untap an Atraxa.
Yeah. Archangel of Wrath gonna hit the board. Just kick the one time to get rid of the creature, gain some extra life, and provide some blocking power here for Willy Edel.
Yeah, and Willy has an amazing hand now.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know, a ton of gas here to be able to affect this battlefield. Only the one Archangel, but yeah, it's still a really strong hand.
Yeah. Removal of plenty and a way to refill the hand as soon as he gets to those 7 lands needed. Or 7 mana needed.
And that was kind of the train wreck scenario for Yuta with playing Shieldred there instead of just saying go, is if Willy specifically had Leyline into a spell that mattered for turn 5. Turns out he did, and you know, Yuta went from being ahead to now on the back foot.
Yeah, things looking pretty good here for the Brazilian. Akuria's briefcase off the top, so no land number 6 just yet.
Yep, this is fine for now. You do have the Courier's briefcase to be able to sacrifice for a 6th mana. So 1 mana away from Atraxa.
So for the time being, I'm just going to play out the rest of the hand, get another Courier's briefcase. So that is Atraxa next turn.
We'll see if Willy wants to be mana efficient and just cast one of these ossifications as well. Decides to wait for something more impactful.
Maybe a Wandering Emperor, perhaps?
Yep. And Yuta took the hit from that Archangel, just saying, I want to make sure I play the Wandering Emperor at instant speed at end step.
Yeah. So Wandering Emperor on the board, 3 creatures. If we find, still not at land number 7 yet for the Stomper just yet.
Not quite. It is mana source number 7, so Atraxa is online next turn, so that Urtai will be really valuable if Willy goes for it. We'll see. I think I would imagine Willy would go for Archangel instead of sacrificing 2 essentially treasures right now in the form of a Curious Briefcase. Yeah, and kind of awkward there for Yuta. Has Wedding Announcement, but you can't Urtai and Wedding Announcement here and just cannot risk Atraxa coming down next turn. So not ideal for Yuta.
Urtai is such a cool card.
I love it.
It's so sweet. You know, it can be a proactive play or reactive depending on where you are in any game, basically. And
yeah, really nice design. You know, it's not overly powerful.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I can catch you on the stack. Otherwise, I kill you if I draw it late, you know?
Yeah.
It's great.
And giving your opponent the card sometimes is a big liability. So sometimes it's not even a great card. I love that card. It's perfect design.
Yeah. Perfect design. You heard it here. 10 out of 10. No notes. Ossification's going to take care of the Wandering Emperor for the time being. So away she goes. Just a knight left on the board now for Yuta Takahashi.
Still not land number 7 for the Stomping. And we'll see if Yuta wants to fire anything off at end step. You know, it's definitely not ideal to play it and destroy a Stomper.
No, because he's not really doing anything yet.
Doing 0 stomping.
Yeah, no stomping. Just slightly, you know, meandering. Taking a stroll in the park, if you will. Let's see if we can get something going here for Yuta, who hasn't done all that much, but now finding a proactive play with Wedding Announcement and leaving up the 4 mana for Urtai.
Yep. I love the old school tokens here from Yuta. Yuta's been around the game for so long. Has some of, you know, you can see that old Underground Sea there. It really has some awesome cards. Underground River, excuse me.
I was like, Underground Sea.
yeah.
That's a real expensive card. I don't think it's legal, Judge.
He probably has those as well.
Sure would. Alrighty, so Archangel of Wrath ×2 in hand for Willy Edel. Sunfall. Okay. All right. That's a nice little insurance policy for later on if things get out of hand here. But as it stands, it's looking like Willy Edel's in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Yeah, now if I was Willy, I'd be starting to deploy some of these powerful cards. You know, it's time to start casting Archangel. I would leave Atraxa till the end. That would be like my refuel card. But Archangel's enough would be, you know, very troublesome where Yuta would have to answer them on the stack and can answer the first one. But now Willy would be able to, I guess we don't have another white source, so can't go Archangel plus Leyline Binding. So that's a little brutal, but I still think it's time that Willy has to start deploying some of these, since he has 3 really nice threats now.
Yeah. Unload this hand. This is a very powerful hand indeed. On the other side of things, Aggro, Seed of the Empire, can kill, you know, Mr. Stompy over here.
Yeah.
Or Urtai Resurrected to stave off any follow-up play, but let's see what we're gonna have on the second main phase here for Willy Edel.
So the only reason Yuta could do that was because Willy played a land tap, so there couldn't have been an Atraxa cast, but still Archangel is going to be brutal, but Yuta's just saying Urtai is for Atraxa.
Yep. For your eyes only. No.
No.
Make it disappear. Okay. That's not terrible.
No, that's great.
That's pretty darn good indeed. You can have Urtai and a Make Disappear for whatever.
Yeah, that was a really ideal draw here, just because you're able to progress the battlefield and you're able to hold up some counter magic. So we see these tokens. You can stack it in such a way that you get the token and then get the virtue to put some +1/+1 counters on these creatures. You're really just double checking, make sure you can do that, but of course you can.
I know, this is a sweet combination of enchantments here, Wedding Announcement, and the Virtue of Loyalty. You know, getting these creatures if you're not attacking, drawing cards if you are, and then just starting to build this team up.
Yep. Yuta's no longer really on the offensive, really needing to get a bigger battlefield, and there's no better way than going Virtue into Virtue with Make Disappear as a backup. But we might need to Make Disappear here, and then the next turn will be a lot more interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, but this hand from Willy, like, even if he was to fire off Atraxa and it got countered or killed, it's like, well, oh, well, here you go. Deal with a Nissa, deal with a Leyline Binding, and a Sunfall, and an Archangel. It's just pure gas right now.
Yeah, just 30 pips of mana value in hand right now. No big deal.
Yeah, you're right, actually. How many is that? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 mana pips. Yes.
Impressive.
No biggie.
All right, so here is a prime Make Disappear target.
Yeah, you want to protect these little itty-bitties on the board, so Make Disappear that. Easy peas.
And we'll see if the Archangel gets in there. Now Willy just has to kind of decide, if I attack with Archangel, am I okay with Yuta attacking me with both creatures and drawing a card instead of getting a creature? And I think the answer is yes, because I think Yuta would rather get a creature here than draw a card.
For sure. Yeah, still at a healthy 20 life is Willy. And Yuta sitting at 17. Leyline Binding. Hey, okay. Gonna take care of the Wedding Announcement.
Okay.
So no more creatures or cards or the Anthem effect.
And here comes the Archangel to get some damage in. And no more creature development, but these virtues will still be pretty powerful. But it does seem like Yuta needs to draw something. A 3-mana spell would be great to be able to leave up Urtai as well. So maybe another Wedding Announcement.
Rafine's Tower, cycle.
3-mana cycle.
Yeah, it's
not as good.
Spell. Yeah. It's something.
It is
Insert
definitely
meme
something.
here, you know.
Yep. And like even just these 2 tokens with Virtue, eventually they may outpace this Archangel, but yeah, you see Yuta kind of doing a double take here because he's like, is it even good to trade one of these soldiers or one of these creatures from the Wedding Announcement for 2 soldiers? And I don't think it is right now. I think you have to wait, make these 3/3s, and then start getting in there. But yeah, with Willy's hand being so powerful right now, it's a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this is looking to be a little difficult to overcome here, but we will see the Restless Fortress get in.
Nice draw there. Not getting in, just
not
animating.
Just, animating to get the counter on it. Very nice indeed.
And then the Virtue untaps it.
That's sweet.
That was sweet.
4 mana available still for whatever Willy is going to cost now. For the Urtai, countering that spell, but let's see where he goes. Sunfall, you Oh, is that worth a consideration at this point, or are we just happy to keep chipping away in the air with the bird?
Yeah, I don't think it's time yet. I think I would be leaning towards Nissa or Atraxa, probably Nissa first.
Sure.
You just got to think if you're Willy, why would you make that weird, you know, animated creature untap? Because if you have nothing in hand, you would animate the creature, attack, and then untap. You know, so you gotta think Yuta has a 4-mana card. I'd be very keen to be like, you have Urtai. You can kind of put him on that here. And I think you have to Urtai any of the plays here just so Yuta's mana is untapped, or freed up, I should say, and then can start doing other stuff with it.
Looks like we're going to turn to Nissa, Ascended Animist, ahead of Atraxa, Grand Unifier for Willy Edel. Having to think about it.
Yeah. And maybe...
Oh, okay.
And
Easy
there it is.
Urtai, gonna counter Atraxa on the stack. No refuel available. Does get to draw a card.
Yuta could not Urtai that Atraxa fast enough. Has really been holding that for Atraxa for pretty much this entire game.
I don't think so. So in the previous turn,
Does
you
look
had
like we're
7
gonna
mana,
have...
But I don't remember if you played at Hirayama or not.
Maybe figuring out life total discrepancy here. That could be.
So in the
I think it's just something about the rounds we cast.
Okay,
It's time for some judge calls.
Last turn, I had
Alright,
like
while the
7
judge
type
call-
of mana,
Yes.
because I played this, and he has, but I don't remember if I play what type of lands.
Oh,
This is
okay,
what
just
I'm
checking.
trying to-
That's the one.
When
Did I
did
play
you
a
attack
land?
with the
Yeah.
stopper? Was
Perfectly
it on the previous
reasonable.
turn or the turn before?
The two most
was this
asked
turn we
questions in
cast?
Magic. Did I play a land, and do you pay the one?
Because
I had a 7 lands last turn, for sure, at least.
Never.
No, I
you
don't
attacked
know.
directly
Never
when you
played
had the
one?
7th
Never,
land, and
Yes,
it died
yes.
directly, meaning that you played your 7th land on the previous turn, so you already played an on this turn.
I already played.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I don't know.
If you attacked, basically you attack with the Stomper the turn you had your 7th land. If you are positive on the fact that you attacked on the previous turn with the Stomper, do you both agree that the Stomper attacked on the previous?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Do you remember?
I remember I have 6 lands when I stacked these two. I draw other cards, got a 7 land attack with this one, and attack with the first Ranger. And I played the first Ranger. And the
Yeah.
last turn I played the second Ranger.
Okay, so
I
it
don't
was
think
2
he
turns
did
ago
play a
that you
land,
attacked.
to be honest,
Okay.
but
I
we'll
don't think so
see.
either.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am not 100% though, so we'll definitely leave that up to them to figure it
we'll
out.
go to
And
the
I have a
slow-mo
look at your
recap
hand.
of
There we
land.
go.
Something to that effect. While we're in
I
this
have
judge call,
these,
I just want to give you a quick update. Karl Sarap leads Autumn Burchett
And
1-0 at the moment. Carvalho is leading Méndez at 1-0.
Okay.
And then
I believe I just drew.
we also have Yuki Ichikawa currently down 1-0.
Okay. Man, those are some very good Magic players here kind of fighting for their tournament life.
Yeah.
Really tough spot to be in. And this is kind of the spot when you're in that really tough round that you really separate the good players. I mean, separate the great from kind of the elite, the people
Yeah.
who don't really stress about the moment. They look at the moment afterwards,
Yeah, for
and they
sure.
it's just another game of Magic, you know? And it's easier said than done because, you know, you're in the moment. We're all human, and it's very hard to separate the emotion from the game. But these players are all
Basically, 2 turns
professionals
ago you had 7
and earn their
lands.
spot here for sure.
And for me, my ruling is that indeed you played at Hirayama on the previous turn after the 7th round, so you didn't play on this turn.
Okay,
All right, so
there we go.
land drop available then. Cool. Alrighty, easy peasy.
It would have been great if Willy's like, all right, you're good. I didn't want to play the land anyways. You know? We'll save this to cycle later.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he's well in his right to do so.
Yeah.
Nothing saying you have to play a land each
It's like,
turn.
I just wanted to know.
Yeah, for sure. So Archangel swinging in here for 3 points of damage. Down to 13 goes Yuta. 26 now is Willy Edel.
Okay, big draw step for Yuta. Needs to find something here right now. Yuta's battlefield is going to be bigger at some point, but by the time it's large enough to really, put Willy into a spot where, Yuta could pick this game up, all the life gain from this Archangel is really going to be relevant.
It's significant at this point. Sitting at 26, healthy. Go for the throat. That's a great pickup here for Yuta Takahashi.
That was great, and it looks like we could see that trick again from Yuta. Hasn't played a land yet. Can animate the creature land, untap it, have another land, and then go for the throat Archangel on Willy's turn, if he so chooses.
At the moment, these creatures would be able to attack through these 1/1s.
Yep.
Citizens doing their bestest, but yeah, I agree with Yuta. It's time to turn things sideways.
Yep, the only decision here for Yuta was to attack with Urtai or not, because of this block is pretty appetizing for Willy. Just trying to deal with the creature before it gets bigger. And now Yuta will have a choice whether or not to do that whole go for the throat untap thing or just play Virtue number 2.
I like that. Yeah, untap and 2 more counters on these critters. So this is going to be a fun little race here between the creatures on the ground and this angel in the sky. Nissa, Ascendant Animist in hand for Willy, along with the Sunfall, in case something were to go awry with this angel.
It's kind of starting to go awry already, so it really might be time to maybe pair both of these cards together. Let's see, that's a tap land, so you can't cast both. We're at 9 mana, so Willy will have to decide which one of these we go for. I bet we're just going to see Sunfall here. These creatures are quite large.
Yeah. Get the 3/3 and then just keep chipping in with that afterwards.
Yeah, or you go Nissa, you make one big blocker, and as long as Nissa will survive, then we might see that. But if Nissa could be at risk, Willy probably won't go for that. And as it stands right now, it would take 5, plus the creature land allows it to take 2 more. So yeah, it would take 7, and it's going to go up to 8. So it's definitely possible, but goes for the Sunfall. I think that's much safer.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a little engine established here for Yuta Takahashi. Needs to get those creatures off the board to be able to just stave off the offensive here for Yuta and make it a bit more difficult for him to get back in this game. Currently, the only thing going for him is this Restless Fortress. But yeah, now there's a pretty decently sized blocker that can jump in the way there.
Yeah, a 3/3 can jump in the way. Right now it is going to be a 2/5, so it'll just kind of bounce off each other. The only removal until we top deck this Wandering Emperor was going to be that go for the throat. So can't deal with the Incubate token. But one nice thing with that Wandering Emperor is you could attack with the creature, get in that drain, that double drain effect, untap it, Wandering Emperor during Willy's turn, and that's great,
Yeah.
A solid start.
All right.
Maybe not wanting to go for it, though. There's nothing that I can really think of that the land would die to, by attacking. Okay.
So just going to the end step then, animating the land. We'll untap it to get, we'll untap it and then get the 2 counters on it. What's the rest of the mana for? Are we just going to flash in the Wandering Emperor now?
Right now? Yeah, this is interesting.
I mean, sure, why not?
Okay. Just looking to get 2 counters on this 2/2 here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
An extra blocker in the way, protection for the Emperor.
Yeah.
A 4/4 Vigilance is nothing to scoff at, so protects against the 3/3. It would be 3/3, I would say.
Yep, so gonna be a 4/4 here. Does make it vulnerable to this Incubate token. If you were to deal with the Soldier, now you get the Wandering Emperor as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of the cost. But as it stands, not really possible to do right now. Nissa can just be a great card in, just making a big old creature.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
You can, of course, ultimate it right away, but...
There is that, but, would like some creatures on the board to make the most of that overrun effect.
Okay, there's a Stomper off the top. We get 1 more draw step thanks to that Cycle Land. We'll see what we hit. Hard to not want to play Nissa right now, just making a gigantic creature.
Yeah. Because would it be an 8/8?
8/8, yep. If you pay the full retail
Sure.
for it. You know.
Full retail price, no discounts.
Exactly.
I mean, Willy does have the life to use as a resource if he wants to.
Definitely. Wow.
Woof, woof, woof.
Oh, I mean, that was huge.
Lovely.
This was the risk for Yuta by playing the Wandering Emperor early. It was kind of trying to, you know, have it all. And you end up losing your Planeswalker here where there really wouldn't have been a risk to that. But the flip side of it, Willy could have just leyline binding the Wandering Emperor.
Yeah.
But then you'd still have that token around.
Well, token down, Emperor down, and now we have Nissa, Ascendant Animist, on the board, creating a 6/6.
Do you have this kind of
So not paying the full price.
XXIX? Oh.
So yeah, comes in at 5, ticking up to 6. Did pay 2 life for that.
21.
21. And do it one.
So 10, 21. Topiary Stomper in hand, go for the Throat in hand.
And Denick the pickup. As it stands, though, you are able to attack with this creature land and at least do the drain with 3 counters. It is
great.
7 toughness, so it is kind of free if you have nothing else to do with the mana.
Yeah, 4/7. It's certainly not small. That's a rather large little creature at that.
Yep.
Did find the Denick, as you mentioned.
Just a brutal spot when you're at this point of the game where
Yeah.
Yuta is not at parity on the board. Whenever you're a little ahead, you know, you can top deck these cards that are really meaningful against Domain, but when you're behind trying to catch up and every top deck is just, you know, that extra nail in the coffin kind of thing, it gets to be so brutal because Domain just has much better top decks than every other deck in the format.
Oh, for sure.
4/6. 4/6.
4/6 or 4/7?
It's
a 1/4, right?
It should be a 4/7, I believe.
Yeah, because it's a 1/4
Yeah.
at base with 3 counters on. So yeah, 4/7, so it can attack and not die to the 6/6. Denick as a follow-up, but looks like we're just going to add some more counters on the end step and just try and get these creatures bigger than the ones on Willy's side of things.
Now we have Go for the Throat as well to deal with a creature, but now this Planeswalker can just kind of start taking over. Sunfall up the top, it's not bad. Right now, Willy just has the better battlefield, so you really don't want to fire it off immediately. Probably do some stomping here and just make a 7/7. Every turn, this scales up to more and more.
Yeah.
You know, Yuta really needs his card, Fairy Mastermind, to be able to start hitting the skies would really be a good start, but not even amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't even feel like it's enough at this point. You know, the longer these games go, you know, Domain Ramp, like you mentioned, just has such a more impressive top end and a way to deal with these mid-range strategies a lot better than some of the other decks in the format do.
Yep. But what a great game this has been so far against 2 just elite Magic players. And reminding everyone at home, winner makes it to day 2. Loser goes home.
Yeah. And, you know, in many tournaments, you would expect to see Yuta Takahashi top of the leaderboard, but here he is fighting for his Magic World Championship life.
That's
3-3. That's just the level of quality that the players are here, you know?
That's the thing.
It's not going to be a walk in the park.
Exactly. You could replay the World Championships 100 times, and we're going to see these win-and-ins at 3-3, and it's always going to be like, oh, I can't believe that player's there. I can't believe that player's there. World Championship is just the elite, the you know, the highest pinnacle of our game, and it's impressive just to watch the Masters work.
Oh, for sure. It's been an absolute treat today seeing all the different archetypes, all of some of the fan favorite players making their, well, you know, reestablishing their dominance in the format or in the game. And, you know, some of the upstarts as well. Players who made it through, not necessarily winning a Pro Tour or anything like that, but, you know, the regional championships, the arena championships, that sort of thing. So
yeah, it's got to be kind of intimidating for the regional championship winners. Maybe have a little less experience, but you know, the Pro Tour winners, stuff like that, these are clearly great players. The people who make it in through points and stuff, these are the people who are really scary because they've just had an amazing years. And then, of course, the RC winners as well. Nothing to scoff at. And we see this go for the throat on just one of these Phyrexian tokens, and that just feels so bad. You just countered your opponent's tick up 1 ability on Nissa. It does make Phyrexian, so you kind of think those would be artifacts, but they are just green Phyrexians.
Yeah, it's essentially, oh, look at all this power I have for free.
Yep.
Still have to deal with it.
And yeah, this is 9 toughness right here. And Yuta's able to deal with, once again, a +1 on Nissa. And gain a little bit of life here, but yeah, especially with top decking a land here from Yuta, this is probably going to be game number 1 going to Willy outside of some really impressive draw.
Deserted Beach, not what Yuta Takahashi needs at the moment. Sunfall in hand for Willy if things do get out of hand, but Topiary Stomper, another nice addition to an already impressive board. This Nissa is just increasing in her loyalty, and at one point we're going to see her just run away with the game. So Sunfall clears the board, exiles Denik. He won't come into play as the Pious Apparition, and there is the 2 counters on the incubated token.
And a nice one-up. This is just a one-up here from Willy. You know, not even playing any additional copies in the board.
Yeah.
Why play more than 1? It's legendary. You only need to draw the 1, right?
Yeah, of course. Never didn't have it.
Yes. And a bit trivial at this point. And you know, here is a big factor that these players really have to consider is Yuta at some point, normally you play it out, maybe you have a 0.1% chance to win, sure. But here, if they draw, they're both up.
Yeah.
You know, so here we see Yuta just pack it up because, well, you can't waste any time and risk a draw because that's also a loss.
Yeah, you need 4 wins. That's
Exactly.
what you have to get here at this point to make it into day number 2.
All right, this is more up to the speed that Yuta wants to be playing. You see,
that seems good.
You see the classic 2-mana Yuta Takahashi Fairy Mastermind from him winning the World Championship a few years ago, backed up with counterspells. So if he can piece together a couple lands here, this is really what you're hoping for.
And start putting that pressure on the life total of Willy Edel. Try and get him on the back foot a little bit better this time around.
Yep.
So start things off with Spar's Headquarters and Seachrome Coast. Land number 2, Takanuma, Abandoned Mire. And likely to see an end step of Willy Edel into Fairy Mastermind following this Courier's Briefcase.
Yep. Here we go. We did get land number 3 from Yuta, and I believe that was land number 4. So pretty much the ideal start. And let's get Rafine down first. Start doing some drawing. And this is just Yuta saying, like, you got 1 turn to cast a really meaningful card on 4 mana. Otherwise, Yuta with double Make Disappear is going to be able to lock down the battlefield here. And huge advantage to Yuta, especially with that mulligan from Willy to start this game off.
Yeah, no, this is looking excellent indeed for Esper Midrange. This is where they want to be, with flying threats, able to connive, get through your library, find the relevant cards, has the Wandering Emperor and the Make Disappears in hand to either protect something on his board or stop Willy from progressing his board state here. So Leyline Binding is able to pay it for its discount and then pay the ward on Rafine. So one problem dealt with.
Yep, that was big. Now only 1 threat. Now it doesn't matter as much that there's double Make Disappear. Of course, it's still great, but there's not a huge amount of pressure on this game right now. So Willy can play a little bit of a slower game. Doesn't have to worry about trying to kill the creatures immediately. Could maybe have a setup turn here.
Sure.
And a fun little story about Fairy Mastermind. Yuta was just saying, you know, when they were kind of helping design the cards, like, I really want this card to be good in the Eternal formats, you know? Be like, he's a big fan of those, so wanted this to be played in Legacy and Vintage and stuff. And who knows? I mean, they are kind of played in that format, but to be able to be played in Standard as well, he's got to be overjoyed.
It's great in my Quasar Commander deck.
There you go.
Fairy Mastermind. Sweet card indeed, especially if you compare it with like Shieldred, forcing your opponent to draw and digging them out like that. Oh, it's so much fun. But yeah, we're just going to keep chipping away here. 2 points of damage coming in each turn here against Willy Edel, down to 14.
And Yuta's always been a fairies gamer, you know, kind of blue-black fairies back in the day. Even had Bitter Blossom today in the draft.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
didn't care about invasion. Yuta didn't want to make disappear this with Wandering Emperor, says not really needed.
Yeah.
But there it is, yeah, one of our special spellbook cards. One of the best ones, too.
Yeah, I love that one.
And you know, Yuta had to have windmill slammed that from the heavens
yeah.
for the draft today. Ended up 2-1ing the draft.
I do love the little anime version with the sleeping baby in there. It's so cute.
I like it. I like it. So we do see Willy also has Leyline Binding in hand. I believe that was the other card besides Atraxa. Not on our graphic right now, but we're going to see Wandering Emperor flashed into play. And it looks like it was cast already. So yeah, it's going to work and not be exiled. So that's good news for Yuta.
Yep, end step. Wandering Emperor. Hello. Let's go in to make another creature on this board. So things looking pretty good here for Yuta. What's the follow-up draw here? What really seals this game for him?
Probably just more counter spells. But even just land number 6 is excellent here. It'll be interesting to see how Yuta values Willy having a card or not, because you're in that spot right now with two 2-mana instants where you could, at Willy's end step, activate Fairy Mastermind. So Yuta gets to draw 2 cards, Willy gets to draw 1.
Yep.
But it really could be a situation where Yuta doesn't want to give Willy any cards and might not activate. It'll be interesting to see what he decides.
Yeah. Destroy Evil, a great pickup too, in case of a creature with big toughness. Looking at you, Atraxa or a Topiary Stomper of sorts.
Probably doesn't care about that too much. Now, this Make Disappear is getting much worse if this resolves, just because there's an abundance of mana.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what do we have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana up to. Atraxa is just uncounterable by Make Disappear at that rate.
So Destroy Evil is what we're going to be going for then. So
yeah.
You know, Atraxa in certain matchups, it's like game over if you can't deal with it.
Yeah.
But in this sort of matchup where, okay, sure, you refill your hand, but now you're tapped out, I have a removal spell, and I have a bunch of creatures coming in for a bunch of damage. So.
Yeah. Now that was interesting. Make Disappear just to burn 1 Courier's Briefcase, because it was not casualtied to counter it straight away. Yeah, that was just really interesting.
So 2 tiny critters up against the 3/2 power creatures here. Wandering Emperor's got to stop putting some counters on things, man.
Yep. And now here is a little bit of the risk from Yuta. If Willy does have exactly Leyline Binding, with this trigger on the stack, it's just each player draws a card.
Okay.
Not Yuta draws 2, Willy only draws 1. We know Willy doesn't have it, so Yuta's going to get that full value from Fairy Mastermind.
Another Fairy Mastermind alongside the Destroy Evil now times 2. So yeah, he's got the threats covered, so any big blockers are going to get got.
Or, I mean, you could also just Destroy Evil the Leyline Binding and get Rafine back. So either 2-mana Rafine or 3-mana Rafine. And we very much might see it since there's a second copy.
Sounds like a good deal to me. Carl.
Yeah.
All right, Rafine Scheming Seer number 2 hits the board.
Yuta's looking for a counterspell, a hard counterspell.
Yeah.
To be able to deal with Atraxa.
Connive 3. What do we find? Another Fairy Mastermind. Land, Darkslick Shores, Cape of Koilos. No bueno.
Nope, and does have like 2 Disdainful Strokes in the sideboard if Yuta did decide to bring that in. I would imagine you do, otherwise I don't know exactly what matchup they'd be for. But unable to find one. Those were some pretty bad draws overall.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming through though. I mean, at this point Atraxa, sure, refill the hand. What does Yuta care? Just kills it and carries on, wins?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like Atraxa into Sunfall, but I don't think the mana's there. I think Willy might need a Sunfall here to stay in this, because I agree, I don't think Atraxa's enough.
Okay, Archangel.
Okay.
That's not nothing. Would pad the life total a little bit, kill off a creature.
Yeah, and it does, Destroy Evil does check toughness, not power, so can still deal with Archangel, and importantly, it can deal with Archangel with the trigger on the stack, so no lifelink damage would be dealt.
Yeah, that's true, because it's that creature doing the damage, it's not just deal 2. Alrighty. It's kind of ironic that Destroy Evil has an angel on it, and we're killing an angel, perhaps. Alright. Is this kicked? Yeah, we're dealing damage.
Yeah.
So does it kill the Fairy Mastermind? Sure does, because that's 4 toughness at the moment. So yeah, that's a big, big hit.
And even if Archangel, went away, it's still dealing damage. It's not saying Archangel, deals the damage. So Destroy Evil, you can't do it in the proper sequence there.
All right, so the life gain will happen there for Willy, up to 7. But still, things looking pretty darn good for former world champion Yuta Takahashi. Fairy Mastermind alongside Rafine Scheming Seer. And an active Wandering Emperor that's just going to keep growing this board here.
All right, Yuta with nothing in hand here, just that deserted beach, looking to turn that into a disdainful stroke, ideally.
Well, 3 cards, just ditch a couple of non-land permanents, get some counters.
3, 4, 5, 6. All he has to do is discard the wedding announcement.
Yeah.
You get 1 counter. That should be 7 damage.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Nice. Woo, Rafine. You spicy meatball.
Needed to get 1 spell. Yuta draw the 2 lands. Like, really? Come on.
Please no flood. Please no flood. Sweet. Game 3. Let's boogie.
This has been an incredible match.
Yeah, this has been sick.
Oh, that doesn't look like that many cards here from Willy. Okay. All right, just our graphics
don't panic.
slow to go.
It's okay. Did mulligan to 6, so Zeotor's Proving Ground to start things off alongside Rafine's Tower, excuse me. So Triumphs aplenty. I love these lands. I think they're so cool.
They are really, really cool, really powerful. And speaking of powerful, we see that Rex in hand, one of the most powerful cards if you're really just leaning onto counter spells,
Tyrannix Rex.
Yep. Ward 4, so having to pay 6 mana to destroy evil, that becomes pretty brutal, but definitely not impossible.
Oh,
every game we've gotten to that stage, so it's not the catch-all be-all by any means. But when it's out very quickly, like the ramp deck can do, then it's much better.
Super cool indeed, but a great start here so far for Yuta. Getting the Knight out, Orph of Ardenvale, Fealty, as well as the Rafine Scheming Seer going to start filtering through that deck. Was that a Lord Skitter, I see?
The rat heading to the sewer there, it looks like, to put 1 counter here.
Yeah, shame. Poor little guy. In the bin he goes.
Okay, there is. So now I think Yuta is pretty priced in to blocking this. And you can see Yuta put that dice right next to Rafine when he attacked. Yuta knew, I have to put a counter on this because you have to negate this play. Now Yuta can double block and not just be completely blown away. If you just have a 2-2 and a 1-4, you're just chump blocking, so this invasion play doesn't happen. But I think we're going to see Yuta do this because this play is just too incredible. It's really what makes the domain deck tick, is this turn 3 into turn 4.
Turn 3 Stomper, turn 4 Invasion of Zendikar, get your 7 lands. Stomper kills it, flips it, and off to the races Willy Edel goes, and we could see a Tyrannix Rex very soon.
Yeah, it looks like next turn we do have 3. Really well set up there from Yuta.
Nice. Yeah, so Rafine gets got, 3-3 remains, but the Topiary Stomper is off the board, and that Invasion of Zendikar is not yet flipped.
Yeah, and right now we see no answer in sight for the Rex. This Rex can really do some absolute damage with having Toxic 4. It is, by default, a 3-turn clock.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And with Yuta only going to 4 lands right now, I don't even know if it's possible to deal with it.
Wedding announcement.
Wow.
Land. Get a critter.
I think this turn's pretty scripted.
Hello. I think it's Topiary Stomper. Wait till this guy hits the board.
Yep, so you would take the damage here. Yuta would play land 5. Take the damage again. Yuta would play land 6. So if Yuta can find Destroy Evil just before he's about to die, he'll be at 3 life and 8 poison.
Jesus.
So, at the brink of
alive on,
doesn't go for it.
Wow.
I mean, we know it looked really good. And honestly, we'll see how this game ends up. But if it definitely goes with Yuta winning this, this might be a moment that Willy looks back and be like, I should have just jammed the Rex.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is a great play, though, too.
And being able to ping down the battle, get the Angel, as well as this flipped creature, which is a formidable force in and of itself.
Yeah. And with this pickup of Disdainful Stroke here from Yuta, the sequencing from Willy is actually perfect now, because if you were to go Archangel the next turn, Yuta could have the counterspell for it.
Yeah.
They're good at Magic.
Yeah. Turns out. No one just waltzed into the building and was like, oh yes, I'd like to play the World Championship, please. All right, so Critter down. There goes the Knight.
Okay, and here's the
Another
Disdainful
creature.
Stroke. Not going to have a good target, and we'll see a Fairy
Yeah.
Mastermind come down, but it's Dino time.
Tyrannix Rex, hello. Doesn't even matter that there's a Disdainful Stroke in hand. Can't be countered. Trample Ward for haste. Dunk. In for 8.
And the 4 Toxic if it just touches you at all. So it
Yeah.
can trample over for 1 damage. You still get that Toxic 4.
7. How many poison?
4 poison.
Ouch.
So down to 11 and 4 poison.
Oh man, Yuta Takahashi's gonna need something big here.
Looks like there might have been a life total discrepancy there, because he's actually at 7. That's much worse. There is the Destroy Evil, though.
Okay.
Off the top. And can pay the ward cost. Has 6 land. What a draw.
Oh wow. Passes the turn. Back to Willy Edel.
This is risky. Willy has negates in his sideboard.
Does he find it here though? Can he keep this Tyrannix Rex alive? It's gonna go for the Courier's Briefcase to start things off.
Okay. Yuta definitely was playing with fire a little bit here with having negates in the board. It's possible that he could draw it and then the Rex is going to win the game. Now I think you have to, well, there's not blue mana available, so you don't have to respond to it now. And I believe there should also be a creature from the briefcase.
Yeah, that would be the 1/1. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, it's still fine, because everything's been pumped now, right? So
Okay, yeah,
could
looking
kill
to
the
just
Rex.
block it.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 power.
I mean, that runs afoul if there is a Leyline Binding.
Just
Right?
block with everything?
If you block with everything, that is 2, 4,
Location,
6,
some-
8. Okay, so even
Yeah.
if you Leyline Binding Rafine, it exactly trades for Yuta's entire board.
It's not great.
Not great.
It is.
I don't remember my next one, because when you did...
You played the mountain just.
I played them out.
Yes.
You're correct.
Okay, and what's your life total at?
It's 7, 18.
18, okay. I thought it looked like 18, but I wasn't.
Okay, there is
Yeah.
the ossification. Which
Yeah, that could get
Block
a
again.
creature out the way.
A creature, yep. Can't counter that one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one has got to go?
It's got to be Fairy Mastermind.
Yeah.
Because you can't target Rafine. And now we'll see if Willy even wants to attack.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
This is getting nail-biting.
this is.
This is time in the round.
Not how I expected that turn to go at all.
Zero.
I thought that was a pretty
Oh,
scripted.
sweet. Oh.
No, your
oh.
turn, because it said end of turn. It means that your turn will be the turn 0.
Oh, they're
Oh,
time.
they're in turns?
Oh.
Oh, no.
This is not fun. Okay.
So if that was turn 0, Yuta's got 1, 3, and 5. So Yuta
Yeah.
has 3 turns to close this out. Willy has 2, and then we see, you know, if it's going to be a draw or not.
All right. Otawara.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. That's going to die there. 3 life gained. 21.
Yep.
Ardenville.
And I would say sometimes you get to these situations where you're like, all right, I'm okay with just a draw now,
Yeah.
but
No,
they
we can't do
be
that.
okay with a draw. They're both eliminated with a draw.
That's nobody wants that. So
No.
Virtue of Loyalty down. You mentioned Yuta's got 3 turns. That was the first
Yep.
to be able to get this game.
So now this
won.
is turn 2 from Willy. Whew. And now these creatures are 3/3s with the flipped wedding announcement. So once again,
Yeah.
dealing with Rafine is not enough to push through the damage needed here. Not even by a lot, because, well, the Toxic is not the thing we need anymore. You need just to connect and deal Yuta 7 points.
Jesus, we've got the Sunfall.
Yeah. I mean,
Herd migration.
Sunfall is great if you're trying to draw out the game. But Sunfall is...
What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5.
Yeah.
It's a 5 incubate.
5's just not enough, though. Willy has to win the game next turn. So here's what Willy has to do. Willy has to Sunfall here.
Disdainful Stroke, yeah.
Didn't resolve. I think Willy has exactly one draw, and maybe it's enough, and that's the second Tyrannix Rex.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's enough.
Oh, boy.
3. So Yuta can...
This is Kanai 4.
Yep. Yuta can Otawara for 3 and then pay the ward cost on the Rex after the draw step if need be.
But then what? It just comes back and smacks him.
Exactly. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is the Otawara next turn is just going to bounce in combat.
In combat, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And hopefully Yuta can just be like, I've presented enough lethal to close it out next turn, but don't know if that's going to be the case.
Because whatever survives here will untap, so there is also the option to block with that instead of just being, you know, shields down.
Yep, and get bigger. And then there could be some scenario where, and we'll see what Rafine targeted here, but there could be some scenario where Willy can attack, says go, and Yuta could go end step, bounce the Rex, and then swing through for enough.
Oh my goodness me. This is stressful. I'm having like heart palpitations.
This has been an incredible match by two just absolutely incredible players. Leaving Virtue and Disdainful Stroke, it looks like. I think that's a stroke on the left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Virtue, Disdainful Stroke. Make disappear in hand as a possibility. The Otawara.
So this is what Yuta's trying to line. Oh, man.
Gonna need a choice.
Yeah.
Yuta's trying to line up Virtue, untap with both, put 2 counters on it, but is going to lose one of these humans to the Rex.
Yeah. All right, give him the flyer, the buff.
3, 3, 4, 10.
3, 3, 4, 10, yeah. So down to 11 goes Willy.
Virtue, double counter, untap, have Disdainful Stroke, and hope he can close it out.
Unbelievable stuff here from these players fighting for their tournament life here at the World Championship. It's do or die here. They need 4 wins to progress.
Oh, is this Willy's turn 3 now?
Oh, okay.
Okay. I thought we were 1 turn extra. So Willy does have 1 more turn after this, but Yuta only has 1 more.
Right, yeah. So he was 4 then.
For the throat.
Oh, why?
Okay.
5, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
So go for the throat can kill 1 of the 5/5s, then there's a 5/5 and enough to kill the Rex with the other one.
He's just going for it now, main phase.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now you can herd migration as well. So if Willy has 1 more turn, Willy might be able to sneak this out. But right now you don't really want to attack with this Rex because all it is trading down to one of these humans. So you just go herd migration, go, and say, well, now it's just Willy or Yuta cannot win the game anymore. Yuta cannot win the game with any kind of draw. So
Wandering
now it's
Emperor? No.
No.
Well, Wandering Emperor, because they're 5/5s, right?
Yes. Okay, but as it stands, the herd migration is going to get countered.
Yeah, so that gets countered. No attack?
I don't think you can. And now is there 1 draw? These are 5/5s. A land won't do it.
Oh, man.
And
this isn't cool.
And Willy's not going to be able to win the game either. This could get real awkward.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a yikes.
Yeah.
If both these players just go 3-3-1.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Some of the brutal moments of professional Magic.
Oh.
What is it?
You don't have any extra minutes. We keep exact time. This is the last turn of the game.
Wow.
Oh man.
Not like this.
Is this
Please just kill both creatures and like win.
is this a Traxa? Herd Migration?
And is that it?
Hell, it's probably a conversation begins now.
I cannot kill you. Would you concede? I think I win the next turn.
All right, what is going to happen? Double block kills a creature.
The game is over. So you can't look at any additional cards to make decisions or anything
It's
like
up
that.
to him.
Yeah.
Would you consider I win? Like, we'll be a world champion once. I wouldn't win. You ask me for extra turns. Like,
The
if you have
use
an
of
extra
you would
turn,
be a
like, you
world
ask me,
champion?
I would win now.
I think he's saying you've
It's
already
up to
been
you.
world champion. Let me have a shot at it.
You know how to be, how it is to
It
be a
does
world
look
champion,
like
maybe.
Willy would win this game for what it's worth.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you both
if there
die.
was an extra turn.
So to be very
Sure.
clear,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
So it's
I'll
up
be very
to you
clear.
to then.
We can't use anything random. Can't look at the top of your
I'm
decks.
not saying
I know you're not. I need to say this. The top of the decks can't be looked at. We have what's available to us. You can have a short conversation, but we do need a result here momentarily.
I think I
Yes.
said everything I could say.
But if I don't get a result here in a moment, we will have to report it as a draw because that's what we've seen so far.
It's up to you.
Please no draw.
It's such a brutal
is-
situation for sure.
This is a crappy situation to be
Yeah.
in, for sure. But let's see what the players decide. You know, they either both go down or...
You will concede? Okay.
Okay. Yuta Takahashi, former world champion, concedes to Willy Edel, who will make it through to day 2.
Yep.
It's not the way you want to do it, but
No.
hey, whatever gets the job done.
But just a class act, Yuta
Yeah.
Takahashi. You know, I
Absolutely.
mean, players do not have to do that in the situation. And it's so hard to do that in the situation, you know? Like, you fight your whole tournament for this, and it's a moment where you understand that if it is a draw, it's a loss for both. And
Yeah,
it
then you're
did
both
look,
out.
It did look like Yuta was going to lose thanks to that top decked herd migration. So yeah, really unfortunate end to an incredible match. But big congrats to Willy Edel.
Yeah, big congrats. He carries on. Yuta Takahashi, unfortunately, out of it, but a class act to the very end there. We're going to come back after this break to chat to Maria at the desk. Welcome back to coverage of the final round of day 1 of the World Championship here in Viva Las Vegas. Corey Baumeister and Ailey Loney in the booth. We have had some very stressful magic here today, friends, and we're going to add to it, unfortunately, because we still have 3 more players to see progress to day number 2 and 3 players to, unfortunately.
I don't know if I can handle it.
Am I? This is, yeah, never the fun part. But you know what? We're going to focus on the good stuff. So let's see who is going to make it through to day number 2. That was a lot of rhyming. Burchett versus Karl Sarap. Azorius Soldiers. I don't think we've seen that yet. Up against Esper Control. So let's jump in here. This is game 3 in progress. So both players have a game. Who is going to make it into day number 2?
And 2 players with some phenomenal resumes. 2 of them,
yeah.
3 top finishes at least for each player. So really impressive stuff. And it looks like at first glance, I see more things on Autumn's side.
Yes, plenty more rectangles on this board for Burchett, our mythic champion number 1 from several years ago. And I would love to add a world champion to her title.
Yeah, let's see what kind of cards Karl has in hand to be able to interact with this. Does have some, maybe just 1 card.
Yeah, got Zephyr Sentinel down on the board there, swinging on in the air. A couple of resolute reinforcements with the tokens that come along with it.
And this looks like pumping of the soldiers
Yeah.
from one of the lands, I would say.
Fortified Beachhead, I believe?
Yep. So that represents a trade with the soldier. Memory Deluge in response to try to find a cut down, which is there, at least to help. But let's see if it's enough. You gotta think cut down has to be the first pick, unless Karl has like a Sunfall, a Farewell, something like that to deal with this battlefield. Ideally, Karl is probably looking for a cut down plus Farewell, or cut down plus Sunfall.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you gotta prevent some of this damage, because what, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 coming through with this pump from
Yeah, Fortified Beachhead.
the beach.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
So digging for answers is Karl Sarap of Estonia, sitting at 3-3. All these players that we're going to see for the remainder of this round are looking for their 4th win.
Yep. And top 4 competitor from last year.
Yeah.
Karl made it as well. That was a star-studded top 4. I think we're in for a
Absolutely.
star-studded top
yeah.
8 this time around as well.
Can't go wrong with the field of players. Karl's at 1.
Okay, is there a Wrath or not? It looks like there probably is.
Yep. Autumn was picking up the creatures even before he'd revealed Sunfall.
Well,
but yeah.
Karl would be picking up his cards if it wasn't there, so.
That's very true.
Okay, that was huge. What's Autumn's follow-up?
Is Autumn hellbent? She did have stuff in hand, right?
I think so. I think maybe 1 at least, but maybe something like a Zephyr Sentinel to be
Yeah,
able to
something
fly
flashy,
over that. Tapped land.
Yeah, 2 cards in hand at least there for Autumn.
At least by the body language, it doesn't look like Autumn has a lot of great tools. I think that was Knight Errant of Eos I caught a quick glance of. And then 1 other card.
6 mana, there's the Knight Errant.
Thought maybe Wandering Emperor, but we'll see. Okay, not much from Karl as well. Now, Karl does have 7 mana, so if Autumn doesn't try to push through any damage here against this Incubate token, Flashback Memory Deluge, 1 of 2 in the yard, is very scary.
Yeah.
Once you get to this point
Oh,
against
boy.
control decks, it's very daunting, and it feels
Oh, yeah.
like you can't do anything.
You know, 1 life is just like easy peas for a lot of Esper control decks.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Okay.
Karl Sarap can find. So 2 unknown cards now into hand for Karl Sarap. The Knight Errant of Eos without any Convoke Friends is just so sad indeed.
The only thing I don't want to see, I don't want to see us go to time again, okay?
Please no. My nerves can't handle it.
Exactly. All right, so untapping, looks like Karl has like 6 cards in hand, the world at his fingertips.
Jeez.
And, you know, outside of some scenario where Autumn has Zephyr Sentinel and Karl, for whatever reason, you know, doesn't have removal spells that line up well against it,
Yeah, no, nothing.
this is looking very, very bad for a Mythic Championship 1 winner.
No soldier in hand, at least not revealed to Karl Sarap. So where do we go from here?
Doesn't even need to second memory deluge. That makes
Disdainful
sense.
stroke, lovely. Okay,
Yep.
so that gets rid of potentially the Wandering Emperor, unless Karl has a response. Sure does.
Okay. Creature to be made, at worst case, can incubate this 5/5 as well, unless Karl's looking to maybe consider have a Wrath available and it's safer as the flip side of the incubate token.
Yeah. We're gonna pop that guy up. Big old 5/5, able to protect alongside the 2/2 from the Wandering Emperor.
And now, whenever we see Karl starting to attack, that's usually...
Yeah, that's the death knell for a lot of opponents up against Esper control.
And there's the Shark. Now the
Oh,
Zephyr
boy.
Sentinel is not even live.
Oh boy, yeah, and anything that Karl costs in addition to this Chrome Host Sea-Chalk is just, you know, extra icing on the cake here. At 1 life, Autumn Burchett was so close, and now the game is slipping away from her.
Yeah, and we'll never know if Karl had the Sunfall or top decked it. You know, only Karl will know on that. But yeah, it looks like this was an incredible
And that's
match.
going to be it. So Karl Sarap picking up the win at 1 life up against Autumn Burchett. So he's going to be back tomorrow.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Autumn fans, the Knights of Autumn, Autumn Burchett will not be joining us again tomorrow. And Karl doesn't show a lot of emotion, and you can see the relief there on his face. So this is what it means for these players to keep playing.
And you could see the little clock in the corner. There was 4 minutes left, so that was another nail biter coming down to the end. So
For sure. We got more for you, friends. Carvalho is currently 1 up against Méndez. We're going to join in game number 2 here. Mono red aggro mirror match. At least this one should be fast, huh?
yeah, I wouldn't say so. Not if it's any indication of our last few matches.
Oh, goodness me. Let's boogie a mono red mirror match. This is sped up, so please don't panic. Our players aren't suddenly superhuman. Let's get things underway. Mountain Phoenix Chick, take 1.
Okay, Marcio taking game number 1. Looks like we saw 1 mulligan at least from Marcio there as he put a card to the bottom.
1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, go. Jeez, Charming Scoundrel. Down on the board 2. What mode does he pick? Let's see. All right, you're getting a treasure. Nice. I like it. Ramping.
All right, let's see what Marcio's response is. No creatures. You know, in these mono red mirror matches, that's perfectly fine. You know, if you're playing mono red against Domain, no creature on 1 and 2 is pretty bad, but...
That's some heckin' foil on that mountain. Jeez.
3 different mountains there. You know, that's interesting.
Who needs matching land bases?
I do.
Okay, fine. Lightning Strike takes care of the Charming Scoundrel, so just the Phoenix Chick on the board. Marcio still hasn't put anything down on the battlefield, passes the turn back. No land number 3 either.
So it looks like 6 spells in hand here. I saw Lightning Strike at least, but, you know, just not wanting to fire it off on the Phoenix Chick with it being able to come back.
Yep. Play with fire. Just dealing damage straight to Marcio's face. Another Charming Scoundrel hits the board.
I bet that...
Oh, Godric.
What? Yeah.
Good grief. Alrighty.
Ooh, that was big because Lightning Strike not being able to deal with the 4/4 side, but...
Witchstalker Frenzy takes it down, yep. Here's a Charming Scoundrel of Marcio's own. Treasure token. Still no 3rd land, though.
Yep. But, you know, if we see just a bunch of lands up top, you know, Marcio not drawing lands is definitely the better alternative. But it looks like neither player going to flood out here.
No, not anytime soon. Oh, boy. Marcio's just got a handful of stuff and nothing clear to do. But, yeah, we will get the Charming Scoundrel down. Another treasure token. So,
wow.
Does have 4 mana available next turn.
Nothing from Méndez as well there at end step, so...
Commander faces Kakuzan, just chipping away at the life total. Down to 8 goes Marcio.
Okay. Now some aggression.
Oh, yeah.
Marcio is not trying to necessarily stay alive, but okay, is it Lightning Strike? Lightning Strike kind of finish you off style game? There's no real counterplay to that with the mono red you know, mirror match. It is just that's going to happen.
And take it. It's both players just dealing haymakers here.
Yeah, and you know, there is a thought to taking out some burn spells in the mono red mirror match as well. You really want to be playing to the battlefield. So we'll see how many Lightning Strikes, Play with Fires are still left in the deck.
Well, there's one of them down, taking care of the bloodthirsty adversary. Down to 4 goes Marcio. It's Alejandro fighting back here against a 2-time runner-up world champion player, Marcio Carvalho. Felden, random excavator, hits the board.
And looking to hold back. One lightning strike will take this game down, though, thanks to Phoenix Chick being unblockable right now. So we'll see. Obliterating bolt.
Yeah. Little Phoenix Chick gets Marcio down to 3.
Okay, now can Marcio maybe turn the corner? If there's a Godric, is that enough? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Nope. There was a Godric in Marcio's hand, I think. All right, now play with fire is lethal thanks to the Phoenix Chick.
Oh, Sokenzan, Crystal of Defiance.
Sokenzan is also lethal here unless Marcio has play with fire.
Yes, no, maybe? Oh.
Has it.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Block like that. Keep your creature around.
Now can Marcio win on the crackback? Because this is 5. All Marcio needs is a lightning strike or that Godric. Godric's in hand, so if Marcio draws land number 3, it's over.
Come on, one time. Top of the deck. Land. No? Doesn't look like a land, otherwise this game would be very over already.
It's a bloodthirsty. Oh, that's
Adversary.
1 short.
Yeah.
Phoenix Chick is gonna take this game.
Wow.
Marcio just needed land number 3 out of any of these turns. How frustrating.
You're telling me. Man, Phoenix Chick, huh? MVP. Best 1-drop. Confirmed.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that gets the counter from Kimono faces Cognizant.
Yeah?
Oh.
Does it?
6, 7, 8, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7, 8. Yeah. It gets a counter, so that's the extra point of damage needed. So Marcio picks up the win there. Sorry, Phoenix Chick. Man, Marcio Carvalho 2-0. Picking up the victory there. We'll see him again tomorrow, Corey.
Yep, absolutely. Mono Red taking it down. I think they were both kind of shocked, like didn't realize if it was lethal or not. Maybe if there was a life total discrepancy or something.
Just double checking. Always good to check, especially at such a crucial point in the day. So
exactly.
We got another one, friends. One more to get through. It is Ray Hirayama, Yuuki Ichikawa. Ray is up a game. We're going to join game 2 in progress. Want to show you as much magic as we can here. Show you as many players as we can, because we know that there are fans from all around the world cheering for their players. So let's see how this Japanese slugfest turns out.
Absolutely. Game number 2 here. Jumping on in. We'll try to starting from the beginning here in another mirror match. A lot of mirror matches to see who's going to advance here.
Esper Midrange being the most played deck this weekend, so you would expect many players to have tested extensively against this matchup. So yeah, let's get things underway here.
And it is a very skill-intensive mirror match as well. There's so much played to it. Wandering Emperor puts a really, wrinkle in this mirror match, being able to play it on your opponent's turn. Maybe sometimes you want to play it early. It's just a lot of things to think about with that card specifically. And then there's, every other aspect of the mirror match as well.
So wedding announcement hits the board, makes the little creature. Lord Skitter, excuse me, was on the battlefield momentarily, cut down. But now it's just a good old wedding announcement. Wow. Okay. Triple wedding announcement on the board.
Wow. And you gotta like the advantage to who has more, but wow.
So this is just Esper tokens, yeah? Talk about a mirror match. Good grief.
And there is Wandering Emperor, go for the throat, and a counter spell there from Yuuki. So a nice hand. Gotta put the pressure on Ray. Doesn't want to attack with 2 creatures here, looking to get the token, instead of draw a card off these Wandering Announcements. Valuing going to the battlefield here.
You just combined 2 cards, Wandering Announcements.
Sorry, this has been around.
It's been a long day.
This has been around.
It's all good, bud. Oh, man, I want to design that card now. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be powerful.
Just a scroll wandering around hitting people on the head. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so this is just basically Esper tokens at this rate, because good grief.
Yeah, from both players here.
Yeah, it's just straight up mirror match. Fairy Mastermind, though, could well be the mirror breaker.
Yep.
Sorry, Kikijiki.
All right, we have Wandering Emperor. We have Negate. And I didn't catch the rest of the cards here.
It's okay, it's
going
going
for the
by.
throat.
Yeah, let's go for the throat in there, so that kills Fairy Mastermind.
Ooh, I think I saw a Shieldred as well, but only 1 black source.
Ah.
Yeah.
No bueno. Good grief. I wonder how many times these players have ended up in this situation. Just like, yep, you have wedding announcement 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's definitely the most powerful 3-mana enchantment now with the Mirror Breaker out of here.
Wow.
Okay. Both of them are flipped. That's the max amount of tokens for Ray. There will be one more for Yuuki. Let's see if he can find that second black source. There it is.
All right, Shieldred time.
And I think he had a counterspell as well for backup. So if you can go Shieldred with backup, that could easily sway things in Yuki's favor.
Flippity flop goes the wedding announcement. So again, it's just a big old stare down here between these tokens. She's like, you go. No, you go. No, you go. It's like 2 Canadians stuck at a door. No, after you. No, after you. I insist.
All right, decides to play this at his own end step to make sure there wasn't 2 counter spells. I like that play a lot. Resolving the Wandering Emperor here is very important.
Oh, definitely. Just getting bigger creatures out.
Yuuki did have the choice to play Shieldred and defend it or to play Wandering Emperor and defend it. So pretty interesting to go for Wandering Emperor. Both great plays, of course. And it's just at this point, it's how do you crack through?
Yeah.
Destroy Evil's a good start. That was a nice top deck with Shieldred.
Very, very nice. Oh, Shieldred down 2. So, yeah, bigger creatures on the board for Ray at the moment. But we have an active Wandering Emperor and Shieldred on the battlefield.
So definitely advantage. Upkeep, go for the throat. Wow.
Never mind.
Both players have incredible draws here.
Yeah.
I saw cut down from Ray, and that's not going to be good anymore. I'll tell you that with 2 Anthem effects.
Good grief. No, these creatures are so big.
Yep. Okay. Putting a counter there, just ticking up, ticking down.
Another Fairy Mastermind. A 4/4 currently? Sorry, 4/3?
Yep.
Yeah, able to take care of the Wandering Emperor, so that's one problem solved.
Yeah, and now advantage back to Ray.
Oh, can you imagine a board wipe now? Good grief.
And the thing is, though, in this kind of mirror match, I wouldn't be shocked if there is no Sunfall or, you know, any Farewell or anything.
The Virtue of Loyalty down on the board now, so this battlefield is going to get real swole real fast.
Yeah, and doesn't look like Yuuki has anything of value right now, unless it's Wandering Emperor to exile this.
Nope.
Doesn't look like it. Oh,
boy.
man.
Yeah, no, this is looking like Ray is going to take this from Yuki Ichikawa in a clean 2-0 in this Esper midrange mirror.
Okay, I believe this is in Yuki's main phase. This might be at Ray's end step. I'm not really sure. Nope, main phase. And now if that gets answered, you know Yuki's just like, all right, that's probably it.
Yeah, and there's Wandering Emperor down. So no clean answer for the Shieldred just yet. Well, let's see what Ray can find. Takanuma getting that Shieldred back from the graveyard.
But right now, even Fairy Mastermind is a faster clock than Shieldred can gain life to prevent it, you know?
She's going to do her best, okay?
Yeah. So that is 6 from Fairy Mastermind, putting Yuuki to 6. Then it untaps, becomes 7. And then with Wandering Emperor pumping, that prevents the 2 life. So over the course of 2 turns, Ray can deal 14 damage here.
Jeez, yeah.
And might even be trying to deal more. Yeah. This looks like a big attack if I've ever seen one.
Oh, good grief, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Doing some math, getting in there with the Restless Fortress too. I just like the motion.
Okay, but I don't think this is lethal. Okay, the drain does put him down to 10. You have to take 6 down to 4. And then, yep, the token will deal the last bits. That looks to be GG.
Unbelievably complicated board state here for these players. Just a board stall and a half until these evasive creatures.
Okay, not yet. But now these creatures were just all bigger than Yuki's.
Yeah. Board wipe or bust, you know, but we don't know if we've got anything. So, Cycling Morphine, that is, we find it? No? Well, sure, let's go Siphon Insight. See what we find. Nothing, there's no fogs in these lists, no eerie interludes or anything of the sort. And that's going to be the hand extended. Ray Hirayama advances Today, number 2, Corey.
Impressive stuff by Ray there. Kind of, you know, both decks were really firing on high efficiency there. Both had great draws, but Ray kept drawing some gas at the end and takes it down, and you see those two
Yuki's so
players.
cool.
We're good friends. I love Yuki. I
He's so
love
fun.
him. I'm such a Yuki
Just like,
fan.
I just lost. You know what? It's cool. Just smile on his face all the
Yeah.
time. It's awesome.
Such a nice
Alrighty, friends. Well, that is all the stress, hopefully, for today that we will let you endure. We're going to send it over to Maria, and we'll see you tomorrow from us.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the news. That's Maria Monty and Cedric here as we wind down